Record. Anybody? Any day now.
Ba 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 ba.
Dun dun do 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 do.
Ba 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 ba.
Dun do do do.
Ba 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 ba.
Jameis Winston is worse than Sammy D. And now here's Coach Crendor. Do 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 do. I went 15-1 this week. Burp.
He
Nice.
did.
You did go
That was,
15-1.
that's incredible. But
That was
we've
impressive.
never gotten that close, have we?
No,
I don't think so.
I think 13-3 or 14-2 maybe one time, but
If you were in like a
I,
Pick'em's football pool, you would have made a lot of money this week.
oh yeah, I know.
I
It
mean,
was a-
it's no 16-0, but 15-1 is okay.
Yeah,
You
I
mean
mean,
18-1?
that's a record that Coach could be proud of.
Yeah.
By the way, regular thanks to Hippo Nora on Twitter for being so good.
Volunteer work, essentially.
Really, like and like there's like
You guys aren't
graphs
paying
for
her?
it. No.
I've been paying her a lot of money.
Oh, you're
Oh,
paying the wrong person because I believe Hippo Nora is a dude.
this is all turning out
whoops.
terribly for
There
Bear.
we go. Now I've completely fucked it up. Damn. Well, entirely too long.
Whoops.
My bad.
Bears,
Sorry.
he's essentially paying for AOL 95. He's funding someone else's fund. But no, I'm not going to. I promise I will be a graceful winner and not gloat too much about 15-1. But I am very proud of that.
Oh, and you know, one more quick note that I
Mhm.
wanted to mention before we get into the new podcast is people rightfully were a little salty from last podcast about us talking about the Niners Skins game, which was the
Were they?
water slide bowl. Like that was the one where it was like all like we even shared videos of it in our football chat. We just completely forgot that it was the game where it was like a torrential downpour.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the reason for all of the stats being as weird as they were.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, everybody was like,
they
how do you not know that? I'm like, I'm not going to watch the Redskin highlights, all right?
yeah. Also, like it's like the highlights from a 6-0 team crushing a 1-5 team, and it was 9-0. So it's just like,
Yeah,
But
with
yeah,
all due respect to Niners fan, the only way I'll get to see your games is if they play one of our teams or if they happen to be on like
Which they do
a
play the
Monday night.
Packers in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great team. That's gonna be a great fight.
yeah.
Probably all going to get to watch him in the Super Bowl this year.
It might be actually,
Maybe,
honestly. I
One of
wouldn't
those
be surprised.
teams. Honestly, it could be one of those or the Saints. I would put as my picks right now. But you never know. Sometimes dark horse teams sneak in.
Yeah, we'll see. Jets.
So- Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, you can't even say it without laughing, and Jets is a
Yeah.
one-syllable word.
Yeah,
Um,
you know.
man.
Also, I need to pee, so I'm going to be very unprofessional. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this is a perfect
Let's wait
time.
until he's back.
How's it going? Actually, let's see. What did the Patriots? Oh yeah, the Patriots played the Browns. We can talk about that because Rob will probably want to leave again after hearing about it.
Yeah.
So
So when when we talked about this game last week, I actually was tempted to call this a trap game because it sort of had the makings of one. And our offense is actually not great this year, and it's becoming clearer. And in fact, they were talking about it on the broadcast the fact that, pardon me, that Brady is vocally frustrated with the fact that they can't really find their identity on offense, whether they're like a running or a passing team. But luckily that didn't matter too much because our defense is historically good and created another turnover for points, not to mention 3 consecutive turnovers on 3 consecutive snaps.
Ooh.
Not series. 3 straight plays, 3 straight turnovers in the first quarter. It was like the first quarter was enough to carry us to the victory, honestly. Like it was crazy the way in which we just came out and stomped on them. It was a complete outclassing of the Browns for 15 minutes, and then at that point we just sort of put it on cruise control.
you're not even
Yeah,
lying
totally.
because it was 17-0 at the end of the first, and the Browns got 13 points. So it very well could have been over in the first quarter.
Oh, we talking Browns game?
Yeah, Browns
And
Pats.
I mean, we've all seen those. We've seen the meme by now of OBJ handing his cleat over to Brady while Baker is in the
look on
background,
Baker's
looking
face is so
very,
good.
very scorned.
Yep.
To be fair, I mean, Baker's not wrong to look at that way because that's the kind of thing you got to do behind closed doors when your team's 2-5 and you just lost
Yeah.
to the Pats on the road. Like, you
Yeah.
got to read the room a bit on that situation, dude.
It's like the Browns have
Baker's-
gone from a complete laughing stock to just a mediocre team.
Yeah.
And
Which, to be honest, like, I mean, that's an improvement.
yeah,
Like,
is an improvement.
and honestly, like, I don't know. I know that, like, if you're a Browns fan, it could feel like what it feels like to be a Jets fan right now. I honestly think that they're so actually talented that it will work out. Like, they're not losing the same way that the Jets are. The Jets are
they're
losing
more like
'cause
the
they
Buccaneers.
suck. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I'm gonna walk this one back for a second, Rob, just
Yeah.
because I think there's only one franchise in the entire history of the NFL that can complain more than the Jets fans and Bucs fans combined, and that's
Yes.
the Browns
That's
fans.
the Browns.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean no disrespect, but I think the Browns fans know what it means to be a fan of a terrible team.
I mean,
we
the
don't have to
Bengals and the
totally
Dolphins
explain
could
it to
compete
them.
very well for that.
I know. I'm just trying to like reignite some hope a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, dude, having watched all of that game, let me give you some real hope for the Browns because, first of all, Nick Chubb, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. So
Fumble
that's-
issues, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was honestly like oh my God. I told you guys in the chat, but that defensive play in the first quarter was amazing. I got up out of my seat and was like going crazy because he was flying down. Chubb looked like he was clear for a touchdown. It was like a 70-yard run.
Mhm.
Dude comes from out of nowhere. Guy I don't even honestly know. Jonathan Jones, I think is his name. But he chased him down from behind and punched the ball straight out of his arm like a freaking over the head punch, and boom, it just went clear out. Such an easy, clean fumble. And like that was just an incredible defensive play. I don't even blame Chubb too much for that. That's like poor protection of the ball, I guess. He could have put it in the other arm, but still, that was just a really good defensive play.
Yeah, that's like what they used to do at the old Bears teams. They'd teach you to punch the ball out. Now the Lions kind of do that as well. So like that's actually a viable thing to coach. And it seems like a lot of teams try it, but they just don't know how to do it properly.
I'm sure it can create more penalties too if you accidentally like punch the dude in the head or something. I don't even know if that's necessarily something they're concerned about.
Yeah, I mean the defenses around the league are caring a lot more about, actually because of the Patriots largely, are caring more about turnovers now than like stopping yardage, which is what it kind of always used to be.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me. Tell that to the Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah, or the Jets. But I just saw the shovel pass pick, which looked like
That was hilarious. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I did see that on the highlight. That was great.
Especially because it was the third consecutive turnover. Like,
Yeah.
it was just comical at that point.
That
It was
doesn't
like
even
they were
look
reaching
like-
in they were going deep in their bag of tricks, and it was like, it's like, okay, I guess we got to pull out the big guns early here in this game, and it's another turnover.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
well,
if you look at turnover differential, which is like one of the biggest stats a lot of people overlook,
Oh, dude,
which
this
is
gonna make me come once you say this number right.
so how it works is it measures your interceptions and fumbles you've recovered on just offense, defense, whatever, and then your giveaways. So like interceptions, fumbles, your team is given away. So New England in first place is at plus 17. So they've had 17 more takeaways than giveaways. The worst
They've had
team.
19 interceptions this year, dude. Through the half this season.
Now, the Miami Dolphins are negative 14. They have given the ball away a lot of times. But there's most of the bad teams are down. You got the Falcons, the Giants, the Browns, the Bengals, the Jets, the Bucs, the Redskins.
Dude, everybody says it, but turnover differential is one of the most important stats.
Yeah.
Like, and the Patriots are consistently at the top of it.
Like, if you look at the other top teams, there's Pittsburgh's plus 10, Green Bay, Seattle, and Tennessee are plus 7. Carolina, 49ers are plus 4.
There's such huge plays, especially the Chubb one, and you could see it on his face immediately after the play while it was still going on. Like it was a live ball, and Chubb was just walking off like completely dejected. He knew that was like it could have been a game-changing play, and instead they're just down more because of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about a turnover, right? Is like besides even just the game, strategy aspect of what of its importance, like it is also like a mental for the opposing team, right? Because like they're running along, having a great time, pushing the ball down the field, and you got to go sit down. Oh, hey, tired defense, you got to come out now.
Yeah.
Dude, think of that
mental
photo
player.
of Brady kneeling and looking totally defeated when the Falcons player is running back with the pick six in the Super Bowl. Like that's supposed to be like game over at that moment, right? Like how do you come back from that? And then well, you know what happened. Now I'll have to explain the next one.
What happened, Bear? What happened?
You won't believe the story. So yeah, that
Defenses hate him.
the Patriots.
But so anyway, the reason I brought up that shovel pass pick though is because like when I just saw that looked to me like that Patriots player completely read that play, and that play that they had was designed to get him that pick.
On top of that, he just fucking ran over a couple guys like they were.
Which then speaks to me that like at least to Bill Belichick, which I guess shouldn't be surprising to anyone, but at least to Bill Belichick, Freddie Kitchens is very obvious with his play calling, which maybe is indicative of what's been happening the rest of their season. I don't know.
I don't think Freddie Kitchens is good. I think he's a bad coach.
I think also that Belichick is just amazing. He's been calling the plays on defense this year too, and like that.
Yep.
I mean, do you see the results? Holy shit! It's insane.
He's okay, I guess.
Yeah. So it's it was what we thought it was. Patriots beat the Browns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hard fought victory, Bear. Congrats.
We'll go to the other winning team.
We're in
our
these
teams.
ones here.
The Packers beat the Chiefs in what?
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty good game.
Actual hard-earned win.
Yeah, I know some people would be like, Pat Mahomes didn't play. But you know what? Devontae Adams didn't play, who's just as crucial to our offense because he's like our only good number one receiver.
I think
I would
Mahomes
say
is a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes
that's
a little
a bit
bit
of a
more.
I don't know.
running back.
Devontae Adams got me like 25 points a game up until he got hurt, and now I have struggled to replace him on my fantasy team. He's pretty important.
But
He's important, but he's
You're
not
just
a
adding
quarterback.
to the fact that you have a Homer opinion on this matter. You're adding more fuel to the fire.
I'm
for
just
that.
trying to help legitimize the win. That's all I'm trying to say. I know people
Oh, no, it's a
you
legit
beat him,
win.
but you really.
I said last week that the Chiefs, is Andy Reid. It could be.
Yeah.
I would not be. I would have faith in Andy Reid. Is what I'm just.
Here's
saying.
the thing: is like it was a very I watched the whole game. It was a very like Andy Reid centric. Like I never really knew about the Chiefs. Like you'd watch them put up games and stuff, but now I actually like watch their strategy. And their strategy is you get quick plays to your fast players. That's pretty much it. So you get Tyreek Hill out there, Hardman out there, like Watkins is running, and they just like speed past you. And then once they do that, then they mix up the run. And then, LaShawn McCoy, you got Damian Williams.
Look at the people on the team, for God's sake. That's like, that's what their whole careers have been about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very much that. But what helped us was our coach actually knew how to handle mismatches, unlike Mike McCarthy. So Aaron Jones, every time he was lined up against a linebacker, we would go to him because he would run it past the linebacker. And it happened like 5 times, including one time for a touchdown. And so even Chris Collinsworth was like, Aaron Jones, the plays good. They're going to go to Jones again here, man. They're going to Jones. And he's
Chris
like, "There it
Collinsworth,
is."
you're here on the show? Wow, I didn't realize.
And he did that tip like, they're doing it every time. Every time. They're just... I was like, yep. So honestly, like, that was the biggest thing. Like, the first quarter was the Packers went up 14-0. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. Then the Chiefs, Andy Reid did the adjustments, and then it was 17-14. And then in the third quarter, the Packers adjusted, and then the fourth quarter is kind of a back and forth. But the biggest thing was the turnover. LaShawn McCoy fumbled it, and we scored a touchdown off it. So that was The turnover
Damn
was the biggest thing.
turnovers, man.
Yeah.
Big
So,
oof.
and that was actually the deciding factor. We won by 7. So turnovers,
And,
man.
Congrats to Aaron Jones for becoming the first Packers running back in the Super Bowl era to have 150 reception yards and 2 reception touchdowns in a single game.
Yeah,
Wow.
Aaron Jones has become our Christian McCaffrey essentially. Like he's very good.
7 for
That's not fair. You guys don't get to have Aaron Rodgers and a Christian McCaffrey. That's
The
Yeah,
double
that's not
Aaron
cool.
attack.
Yeah,
It's-
Aaron Jones also had the most receiving yards by a Packers running back in a single game.
All right, you
Yeah.
guys are not allowed to
It-
draft Aarons from now on. That's
It was-
that's it.
It was I think they had him up with like Don Hudson, who like is
Yeah.
like one of the old school like top of all time running backs, and Amon Green, who was like the Brett Favre running back guy.
any A names, I guess. Shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, it was a good game. It was like a very good game. It was honestly pretty well balanced. I could see how if they had Pat Mahomes, they would definitely make a few more plays out there. And like it probably they could have won. But I mean, I think it would have been close still. This is definitely
Honestly, the Chiefs with Mahomes at home probably win this
Mhm.
game, but the Packers definitely can make it competitive every single time.
yeah.
Well,
That's the biggest
and
thing you want out of these games is just like as long as you're competitive and you're in the game. That's like the biggest thing to get.
So the
out of
Chiefs
it.
have been
Yeah.
shown that they
Yeah,
can,
like
they
that.
can lose at home with Mahomes though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they're not as invincible as we thought they were last year. Like they were
Yeah.
last year.
I think
almost.
they're
Yeah.
really missing like Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Even though he's a big douche noodle, like they really
Yeah.
miss him. On
Well,
the
they need
running
the
side.
run to they need to pound the run to make sure they open up the passing game is what it is
Yeah.
for. And without that, they rely a lot heavier on Mahomes.
Yeah.
Which
Well, again,
may
that's
be how he got
actually that's become our system. Is like Aaron Rodgers has finally bought into it. He's like, hey, this coach knows what he's doing. We literally just pound it with Jones and Jamal Williams, and then it opens up the play action, and then our like mediocre receivers are able to still like make crazy plays, especially when Rodgers like falls
Yeah,
down,
except for
blind
Marquez
side,
Valdez
throwing it up randomly.
Scantling, coach. What happened to Scantling? I'm tired
Well,
of him. I'm dropping him. He's done
He
for me.
actually could have had like a 50-yard catch and he dropped it.
He was targeted twice. That was it.
That was one of them.
Yeah, and I hate it because I put him in over who did I had the New Orleans running back. I left 52 points on my bench this week, which I was not happy about.
Oh, dude, I won in fantasy football.
Yeah, Rob, you did.
You're
That's
crawling
awesome.
back, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Congratulations.
3-5. We'll see.
I'm
Aaron-
4-4. You're right there.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers surpasses Ben Roethlisberger for the 6th most passing yards in the NFL since 2008.
Ooh.
That's
I'll take it. I like those stats. So overall, one thing I was actually reading into was the coaching, because it turns out Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, and Sean McVay were all on that Redskins team. I think I mentioned it before, back with Mike Shanahan, his dad. And so they all actually have very similar coaching styles. Like if you look at the Rams, 49ers, and Packers, they all run the ball, set up the play action, and like get turnovers on defense. And it's working. And then the Rams stopped running the ball because their line's been shit, and now they're falling apart. So the thing is, the Packers and the 49ers, all these teams, they rely on the run. Like, it's establish the run and then pass the ball. So I'm actually really excited to see a 49er-Packer game because they're actually friends, like, because they've coached together for so long. So it's going to be interesting to see them, like, battle it out.
Yeah,
Want to
that'll
talk
be a good
about
game.
them Niners?
Talking about them Niners. In fact, we can talk about the Niners real quick because they won 51-13.
51 points
51. That is wild.
51-13. Kyle Allen
against the
3
Christian
picks.
McCaffreys.
Yeah, and he had 117 yards and a touchdown running the ball.
He did Christian things.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
even caught the ball 4 times. He didn't get that much yardage, but
Yeah. They speaking of running, wow, yeah, the 49ers had 105 yards and 3 touchdowns from Tevin Coleman. Mostert, I don't even know how to say his name, 60 yards and a touchdown. Breda had 35 yards, and Deebo Samuel had 29 yards. Like, they just kept running.
Oh,
dude, like Niners, they're legit as fuck. Like, it's not even legit anymore. I feel like as fuck is perfectly acceptable suffix here, or for lack of a
I
better
need
term.
to pull up the replay to figure out how you and Krendor managed to pick the Panthers over the Niners.
I believed in the Kyle Allen experience, but
I did too, and now I don't believe in that. And the 49ers are a little more legit now. So, I think it might be time to try Cam Newton again if he's healthy. If he's not, then keep doing it. But, it's...
I don't know. Honestly, I still don't think you go back to Cam at this point.
Nah, he's done, I think.
Yeah.
The Niners do have a fairly difficult, or a more difficult later half of their season, so they'll be tested a bit. But
True.
I expect they'll come out on top most of the time.
Nick Bosa was 7 sacks through the first 7 games of the season, tied for the second most by any player in the first 7 career games since 1982, when sacks became an official stat.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, they have
and this is also the most points. This is also the most points that the 49ers have scored since the Steve Young days back in week 16 of 1993.
And weed 16, man.
Yeah, blazing, brother.
And that is a run-focused offense with Garoppolo at the helm, which is not a bad QB to have. So they got a good thing going.
Yeah.
It seems like it's all honestly, it looks kind of Patriots-y. It's like zone running and quick
Fancy
passing.
that, yeah. Dude might have brought a chunk of the playbook with him.
Yeah, so it's they seem kind of spooky. Which, to be honest, considering the record last year, you'd be surprised by. But I think all of us saw a lot of the Niners stuff from last year and were like, yeah, this team's gonna be spooky when they get healthy, because they were doing shit even last year with what did they end up with, a 1-15 record or something?
But they're better than that, right?
Kittle was hitting 80-yard touchdowns and shit, and there was some crazy stuff going. So I think Kyle Shanahan is a good coach.
Yeah.
The pieces are
4-12 last year, so not that bad.
Yeah, I think just the pieces are in place now. This is the best time for the Niners to start peaking, and they're doing so.
They've
they're about to peak all over everyone.
They've last good season they had, good with parentheses, was 8-8 in 2014, and that's the last year of Harbaugh. Then they had 5-11, 2-14, 6-10, 4-12. So they've had some bad years. So it feels like they're finally.
Harbaugh was 7 years ago, though, wasn't it? That wasn't that long ago.
2014. I said it. 5 years.
Oh, that was the same year? Oh, okay.
No. Harbaugh.
I was talking about the Super Bowl between the
Oh,
Ravens.
that was
the year before that, right?
2012.
I thought that was 2012, yeah.
Oh, did he stay? I thought he only stayed a year after the Super Bowl loss.
No, they went to 12-4 the next year, and they lost the conference, and then they went 8-8 and didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
But hey, Panther fan, there's nothing. There's a bright little shiny spot on the midst of this golden turd.
What is it?
Well, Christian McCaffrey's 40-yard touchdown in the third quarter, became the first rushing touchdown allowed by the Niners defense for the entire season to the running back.
The entire
there you go. The entire John Cena.
Yeah.
So I think what we learned from this, Panthers not as good as we thought. 49ers better than we thought. And then we'll see how they go. The Panthers can still fight for a wild card.
They're 4-3.
Yeah, they're gonna. I think they'll still. They've got a pretty good chance of getting into the playoffs here. So
they won't win the South though. No one will except for one team.
Well, speaking of the South, the Jaguars defeated the Jets. 29-15. Gardner Minshew, 3 touchdowns, 279 yards. Looked great.
Yep. Well, he's my fantasy QB, so thanks, Gardner Minshew.
You had a win-win situation here then today, man.
I really did, honestly.
Le'Veon Bell was my fantasy running back. He did not have a fun day.
He almost got traded.
I almost wish he would have.
9 for 23 is a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's because of Adam Gase, to be honest. It's just like,
I asked this as objectively as possible. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
but just because we mentioned him real quick. Do you honestly, unironically think that the Jets will get rid of him before the end of the first season?
Well, definitely not now because the trade deadline's over. So,
Right.
So no.
What about at the end of the season?
You know, I wouldn't be shocked to see it at this point. But
Well, you can still sack a coach before the trade. I mean, after the trade deadline. They
oh,
get
did you say
fired.
Gay? I thought you meant Bell. Oh, my
Oh.
bad.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm
No,
talking about
Gase.
Adam Gase.
Oh, my fault. Do I see that happening? Jeez. No, probably not, to be honest. I would like that a lot. And I think almost everyone in the fan base, it's one of those situations, you know, in NFL teams where it's like, you know, everyone in the fan base can see all the extremely obvious glaring issues, but not a single person in management or administration can. That's
Yeah, it
what's
happens a
happening
lot.
right now. Yeah. And that's what's happening right now is everyone knows we're never going to go anywhere with Adam Gase, and he sucks. He's a lame duck. He's worthless.
Great words.
But the ownership doesn't seem to understand that. Like they won't. And honestly, here's the other thing. If they hired him for the reason that I believe they hired him for, then they're definitely not going to get rid of him. And the reason that I think they hired him for was because he was the cheapest option on the market. And they like going for the bargain bin coaches one after another, which is what they've been doing for the past several coaches, because they know that they're in the New York market and they just get Brinks trucks full of cash shipped to their fucking mansions, whether we win or lose. So why not go for the cheapest option?
Well, I mean, the Jets upper management needed a crank hookup as well, because we all remember that very first the signing of Adam Gase press conference where he was just looking tweaked out of his gourd.
So, you know, I like this game I zoned out almost immediately because which is kind of what I've been doing to the season.
Yeah.
It's over. But I zoned out almost immediately because I'm not fucking kidding with you. The game started with the Jaguars getting a touchdown in 4 plays. Ooh, 4.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just like, yeah, all right. Well, fuck me then. I guess that's it. It's done, and it was done. That was it. That was the end of the game. Like that, it ended in after 4 plays. That was it. That's all it took. And it's really, you know, he's supposedly an offensive guru, and I really wanted to show you guys some stats. So
Okay.
I like stats.
let me get you a couple of stats here.
All right.
right.
Let's hear some stats.
This is on the Jets subreddit.
Here we go.
So the 2019 Jets have the 8th worst offensive DVOA through 7 games since 1986.
What's DVOA, Rob?
Well, actually, let me find the exact what that stands for, because I actually don't know entirely what the acronym is.
All right.
But it's an efficiency rating, which DVOA in offense like calculates a bunch of different, you know, values together to make a final value, basically. So it's an efficiency.
It's like quarterback rating.
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, there are only 7 teams since 1986, so the past 40 years that have been worse than the Jets.
Defense adjusted value over average.
There you go. Thank you. So the offensive guru, well, turns out he is literally he's top 10 worst in the last 40 years. So yeah, you know, that was whatever, you know, that's good stuff. You know what I can't wait for too? I say this all the time. I can't wait till we get that high top 10 pick and we draft another fucking defensive player. That's gonna be fucking great. You want to know what our next? You want to here? This is another one. Another bad boy. I'll put this in the Foos and Ball here, so you can put it in the description. These are players that have been that we picked up in the first round since first or second round for going back a while. Darren Lee traded. Leo Williams, traded. Calvin Pryor, traded. D. Milliner, cut. Sheldon Richardson, traded. Quentin Copels, cut. Mo Wilkerson, cut. Kyle Wilson, cut. You know, it's just like
Swing and a miss. And a miss. And a miss.
It's
And
so
a miss.
frustrating.
Another miss.
Yeah, exactly. Like it really
He's still
is.
up there despite striking out. All right, here comes another pitch. He's still swinging everything.
And you know what the
escorting
worst
him out
part
to
about this is that it's very much like that, except I have to wait year after year to see the thing that I know is true.
It's a very
single
slow
one
baseball game.
I guarantee you, every single one of those years in that list, in between them, I had a moment being like, well, maybe he'll be quite good. I don't know. Maybe we'll turn it around. Nope. Bullshit every fucking time. That's like 10 straight years of that. All right. Like,
Yeah.
We draft nonstop defensive players, and our defense still fucking sucks. We don't know how to draft at all, and we don't even draft offensive players at all. So,
Except Sam
you know,
Darnold.
what do you got? What do you end up with when you don't draft any offensive players for, decades? Well, you have the 8th worst offensive DVOA in 40 years. That's some great stuff. Love it. I love seeing it, and I can't wait to see Adam Gase back coaching the Jets next year, because he didn't get a fair shake, guys.
Yeah,
So-
he's rebuilding the Jets.
Yeah. And then
Oh, man. I'm glad you
Leonard
got that
Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Leonard
was
Williams
built
got
up.
traded for a 3rd and a 5th. That's pretty good. He's good. He's not great. Definitely not worth what he would get in a contract. But he's fine, and I like him as a person, so I'm happy for him. We got a 3rd and a 5th out of it. Good.
At least the Jets helped out another one of your boys, though. Gardner Minshew II, first rookie quarterback in franchise history for the Jags to pass 3+ passing touchdowns in a single game. Congrats to the living meme himself.
Yep.
And thank you, Jets, for that. But
Yeah.
I think Rob actually started Minshew on his
did.
fantasy team this week.
And he won me. He won me the game. It was fantastic,
did.
honestly. Not surprised by that at all. By the way, here's another stat for you.
All right.
Our PFF grades for linemen, because there's not really a great way to statistically track linemen, so PFF grades usually are kind of good. Like it's kind of the best that we can go on for a lot of the time. PFF grades. The Jets, on average, if we're looking at the averages of the individual grades of our offensive linemen, worse than the league. Worst.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
That's
it's
like
yeah,
the worst.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's just there's no point. Honestly, we're getting Sam Darnold killed out there, and you're completely destroying his confidence too. You're destroying the confidence of the team. Jamal Adams said he wants to play for fucking Cowboys, and you know what? He's gonna fucking leave. He's gonna leave us. I know he's gonna, and I don't want him to.
You're
but
one
he's gonna.
good draft pick.
Yeah, it's just like it is hell being a Jets fan. It really is.
I laugh only because I can't cry because I know exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Bear had it on the money last week when he predicted that Sam Darnold might actually die on the field one day.
I
true.
honestly wouldn't
I
be
think he would.
surprised, dude. Like he's gonna get fucking Andrew Lucked out there. Like if he doesn't get if he doesn't turn to jelly diarrhea out there as a player over the course of like probably getting a new fucking coach next year and have 3 straight different coaches in his first 3 years or something.
dude, I
he's
have
gonna
a
be
crazy stat.
Yeah.
In the last
Yeah, hit me.
19 years, me and Bear have watched our teams use 3 quarterbacks.
that's
great.
insane.
That's great.
It's a crazy stat.
Oh man, like really is fucking nuts over
Yeah.
the course
Man.
of almost 2 decades.
That's
Did you
super.
know that the Miami Dolphins since then have used 20, I think it's 22?
yeah, sounds about right. About right. How many have the Jets? Out of curiosity.
That's a great
Is
question.
that on
I
the
don't
list?
know because this was an ESPN graphic that showed the Dolphins one.
It's
Fair.
funny for that part of the graphic, it actually just has a laughing face emoji instead of a number.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then for our stats, I just counted on my fingers, and then I don't really know for the other one. But hey, you know what? Buccaneers are a team, kind of.
Yeah,
They
definitely
lost.
are a team, coach. They definitely did. One of the worst blown dead plays I've seen in recent memory.
What happened?
Well, the deciding touchdown was because the refs blew dead a punt fumble, which they were able to. I don't remember if it was a fumble or not. There was essentially it was a fumble that got blown dead, despite the real fact that it was not dead. It was an errant whistle that came from one of the line judges, and it stopped the play. But the Bucs had returned it for a touchdown, and therefore it was not reviewable because it was blown dead, which Bruce Arians almost actually spontaneously busted on the sideline, along with everybody else too, I might add. But it wouldn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. The Bucs, win or loss, this game just doesn't even matter anymore. The season is a wash. I mean, it's basically the same thing that Rob has been saying. Maybe not to the degree that Rob was talking about, but for all intents and purposes, it's still the same thing. I mean, I have no confidence in Bruce Arians right now. I liked him too. I liked Bruce Arians. I was excited to see him come in, but he has an unhealthy obsession with Jameis Winston that is downright borderline creepy at this point. And why he continues to try to defend this god awful quarterback, I will never ever understand. I do not know how it's possible. The Bucs are 0-4 against teams that have a backup quarterback starting. They're 0-4.
Yeah. I mean, I've defended BA on here and privately, and I still will, but I'm not gonna lie. Sinvicta showed us a press conference.
Yeah.
Where BA was defending Jameis, and the way that he defended him was by saying that his receivers were letting him down.
He threw everybody under the bus. He did, and no, this is viewers. This is I implore you, if you think that that this is a bit, that I'm exaggerating, please
put the link in Fusenball.
Do this for no. I mean, Krendor won't put it in the description anyway. So go to Buccaneers.com and go look at the game day press conference. All I'm asking is for 60 seconds of your time, because in 60 seconds you will understand what I'm talking about when I say unhealthy obsession with Jameis Winston. There's a period of about maybe 15 seconds of that press conference where no one is speaking, and Bruce Arians is waiting for some sort of question. No one says anything. So Bruce finally starts talking about the game, and without anyone mentioning Winston or interceptions or the offense, he begins defending him, saying none of those interceptions, not a damn one of those interceptions was Jameis's fault. Every single one of them was the receiver's fault. They let him down. They screwed it up. He was very eager to throw anyone and everyone under the bus to prove that it wasn't James's fault. Not mentioning the fact that he's got 7 interceptions in the last 2 games. He's got 10 takeaways. 10 takeaways.
Yeah.
Which is actually funny because if you look at the PFF grades for receivers, Chris Godwin is a 90.5 and Mike Evans is an 82.9. Comparing that to what Aaron Rodgers has been working with, for example, Valdez Scantling 61, Allison 56, Lazard 77 is our highest right now. So I think, if you want to trade receivers, I think we could work something out.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin is a surprise to everyone this year because he has been excellent. Mike Evans, of course, Mike Evans is officially the new Andre Johnson at this point. He's being completely wasted in Tampa. Yeah. And I said takeaways, I meant giveaways. James Winston, he's got 6 career games, 6 careers since 2015, 6 games with 4+ giveaways in the same game. That's god awful. That means, for both viewers, if you don't know what that means that he's given the ball up to the opposing team at least 4 times or more in this single game and still been left in.
He's more prone to do that, I gotta say, than any QB I can think of in the modern era. He just has more 4 or 5 interception games than I think I've seen lately.
Yeah,
he is. I never thought that I'd say this, but he is worse than Josh Freeman was for the Bucs. It's not even debatable at this point. I've never seen a quarterback give up the ball so easily and so readily to bad throws, and I've never seen a coach so violently defend a quarterback who is not worth defending. And like the Bucs subreddit, people talking about is like, oh, here come the Jameis Winston haters again. They're fully ignoring the fact that someone so in that way, it's been 5 seasons, Tampa.
It is pretty funny that in his 5th season, Jameis Winston currently has a PFF grade of 65.6, which is 0.1 below Daniel Jones in his 5th NFL start.
He's awful. And if the Bucs re-sign Winston, because thank God this is the final year of his contract. But I've been saying it privately in the podcast group chat on Discord. But I'll say this publicly: if they re-sign Winston, I'm done with Tampa. I'm just flat out done.
There's no way they do.
I will not watch this team until Tampa gets rid of him.
I still think that what they might do is a sign and trade, for the extension, because he's still got the rookie extension, right? So, so they can. This is
his last year of the contract period.
Oh, is he in the 5th year extension?
Yes, he is. This is it for him.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, he's not coming
they
back.
They didn't trade him at the deadline?
Who wants Jameis Winston? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, anyone out there? Jameis Winston. I got 0. Bid for 0. Nope, I got 0. Okay, 0. Jets. You need to put it up. 0. All right.
As a backup, I think Jameis Winston would be one of the best backups.
It's not a backup, Rob.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying, if he gets traded, then he would be a backup, and he would be one of the best.
The only teams I could see him starting on are the Redskins, even the Dolphins. I'd rather use Fitzpatrick.
No, they've got I mean, the Dolphins have Jameis Winston, except Santa Claus, and that's Ryan Fitzpatrick. So
yeah.
I could see the Panthers maybe thinking about taking him, but I guarantee you they won't.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Kyle
no one
Allen
wants
at that
Jameis
point.
Winston. I will not support this team with him quarterbacking. I won't.
that is.
I'll watch another team for a couple of seasons if I have to. That's not me being fair weather. There are so many people,
dude.
who
You know
are
what?
saying the same thing about Jameis Winston on the Bucs subreddit and everywhere. It's so obvious that he is not going to get it. We're not in a rebuilding year. This is his last year on his rookie contract. He's not going to get it. I don't care if you bring in the quarterback whisperer. It ain't going to help.
As an aside, fuck anyone who tries to claim anyone that is a fan of a shitty team is a fair weather fan. You know how fucking annoying that is to hear? I've had 10 years of this shit. All right. If I have to zone out halfway through some of the games, well, I got to do that so I don't chug a bottle of bleach later on. All right. The top post of the Jets subreddit right now is the suicide prevention hotline. All right. So I'm just saying, Fairweather fans, that statement only comes out of people who are fans of
winning teams.
Yeah, exactly.
The fans of terrible teams like Tampa and the Jets, we are the most diehard. We love our teams more than anyone. That's the reason why we stuck around for so long. If we were fair weather, I would have jumped ship a long the hell time ago.
Yeah. Fair weather. Let me just give a little definition here, all right? To me, fair weather fan is, say your team's good right now, right? You're a Patriots fan. You're like, woo, yeah. And then next year,
I'm looking
Tom
for
Brady.
the Super Bowl ring polish. You guys know what that is? I can't find it anywhere.
Next year, Tom Brady, for whatever reason, is like, hey, I'm retiring. Bill Belichick's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out of here. And then they have the post-90s Bulls drought. It hits that point where, a good chunk of people are like, I don't care about this shit. And then they stop watching. But it's the real fans are still going to, pay attention to at least, some of the games have. They still have some interest in it. And they're
the
not
Buccaneers
going to a different team.
They are completely wasting Mike Evans. And Mike Evans actually quoted, and this is a quote. I'm only editing it for YouTube's sake, but it's a quote from Mike Evans right after the game. He said, "I am so effing sick of losing." He said he's tired.
I'm so
tired
sick of the word, dude.
He's tired of seeing heads down in locker rooms. Everyone should be celebrating, patting each other on the back. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for him because Mike Evans on any other team is a Super Bowl winner. Mike Evans on the Patriots, it's game over.
He's
Mike Evans on the Packers, it's game over.
Believe me, I feel this very, very like I feel your energy greatly with Jamal Adams. Like
he's just
same
being.
kind of situation.
It's sad to see incredible Hall of Fame caliber players wasted on god awful teams, and the Buccaneers are wasting. They're wasting Mike Evans. They're ruining Chris Godwin, all
They're
for the
ruining
sake
O.J.
of
Howard too.
yeah, and O.J. Howard
Yeah.
as well, all for the sake of Bruce Arians trying to make Jameis Winston work, and for some reason, upper management still will not. They won't step in. They don't want to step in and get rid of Winston. I do not understand it at this point. We're looking at like we're looking at like a Get Out situation. I think for those of you who've seen that movie at this point,
Apparently,
that is where we're looking at this point.
the Patriots called about O.J. Howard and immediately hung up when they heard what the price tag was.
Oh yeah,
I remember seeing that. Oh, that made me laugh.
You know, you can just picture Bill Belichick being like, "Hey, how much for O.J. Howard?" And they're just like, "Well, it's a first."
Yep. Yeah,
Hello?
the Glazer family, an organization or foundation, or whatever new title they make up for themselves this year. They're the owners, the team owners of the Buccaneers, and they have expired about a decade ago. Ever since like probably 2 years after I would say Raheem Morris was signed, was moved up to the head coaching position. That's when the Glazers should have been out of there.
Yeah,
I would like the Glazers and the Johnson brothers to go on a nice long family road trip on a cliff face. And I'm not going to suggest what may or may not happen to them on said cliff face, but I think it would be nice for both families to enjoy this experience together.
when you say the Glazers, all I think of is Jay Glazer from like Fox Sports, the like bald
Yeah,
guy
me
who's
too,
like, "Guys, we got
actually."
crazy stuff going on out here."
I should clarify that the Get Out reference, by the way, was talking about the sex call. Nothing else with that.
I was kind of wondering at points, like, which part are you talking about here?
Yeah, it's a sex call.
All right.
Jameis Winston's he's the
Sex
he's
cauldron.
the star of
They
it.
closed that
Yeah.
place years ago.
I thought they closed that place years ago.
So
Oh,
I
wait, no,
mean,
that was Krusty who said that. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
So the Buccaneers lost to Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Bucs lost.
Hey, Ryan
Congrats.
Tannehill, 3 touchdowns, 193
Yeah.
yards, look pretty solid.
He's looking pretty good for the Titans right now, to be honest.
Just Coach, if you could just read Mike Evans' stats for the people, just so they know.
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. Let me just give you a little Mike Evans.
11 receptions, 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. And importantly here, because those are great stats,
Yes.
11 receptions on 12 targets. So
That's- yeah.
literally, they didn't hook up literally only one time that
Yeah.
it was thrown in his
That he was
direction.
targeted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is extremely good on any other team but the Bucs. He makes them a championship caliber team.
I'm sure the
But
Titans
he
would
will-
like him because
Yeah,
they have
anyone would.
Jonnu Smith, who I've never heard of, Anthony Fursker, and Adam Humphries, Tajay Sharp, AJ Brown, Corey Davis. I know those guys.
God, Adam Humphries is still playing.
Adam
Yeah.
Humphries. Wait, who did he used to be with?
He's like a Adam Humphries is always like a
Journeyman?
Jag, right? Like
Oh.
yeah, he's just another guy type of guy. But
I don't want
I
to
mean-
spend too much more time on the Bucs because we got to move on. But I will say that theorizing a realistic
wrong.
team that Mike Evans would absolutely blow up on would be the Texans.
Yeah.
If Mike Evans was on the Texans, oh man,
Oh, Adam
that
Humphries
division-
was with the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said yeah.
Oh.
look
well,
at that.
So that happened. Titans actually 4-4 now. They're
Yeah.
still alive. They're actually looking pretty hard. Yeah, Tannehill. I mean, Tannehill, he's never been bad. He's just been with Miami. So
Yeah.
it's
He
kind of
was
an
great at
issue.
A&M, so.
Or injury.
Man, I would love to actually see Ryan Tannehill just destroy everyone on the Titans because it would really only further serve to show that Adam Gase was actually holding him back and not the other way around,
Mhm.
which would be amazing.
So then we had the Eagles beat the Bills
Yeah.
pretty
my
substantially.
one loss of the week. I don't know
31
how that
to
happened.
13 in Buffalo. Carson Wentz 172 and a touchdown. Jordan Howard 96 yards and a touchdown. Miles Sanders had 74 yards. It
This
wasn't
was
even
their toughest opponent so far, right? The Bills.
Yeah, I'd say so, minus the Patriots.
Minus the Patriots, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
The
Which,
thing is,
after the way they played the Patriots, you would think that they would have beaten handily the Eagles at home and like in Buffalo.
yeah, from what looks like, they couldn't run the ball. Josh Allen had 45 yards as their leading rusher. Frank Gore, 34 yards on 9 carries. Singletary, 19 yards. Receiving, they had a decent amount. 54 yards, John Brown, 41 Cole Beasley. I guess it's not even that. Like, they just didn't do anything offensively. And I guess their defense couldn't really stop the Eagles' run game. I don't know. Just, you know what this is starting to remind me of? You guys remember, like, when was that Bills team that started, like, 5-1? Do you remember that? It was, like, a while back.
I've never watched
yeah.
the Bills intently, so I
Bills
don't know.
5
until what, like 2 years ago, they had the longest playoff drought in
Did they
like
have? Oh, my
like, league
God.
history or something.
They had Trent Edwards.
Oh wow! So you're talking like early 2000s
It
or
was
something?
2008?
Yeah. Okay.
2008, the Buffalo Bills started 5-1, and they finished that year, I think, like 7-9 or something. Like, it's almost starting to remind me of that. I hope it isn't, because I actually like the Bills and I want them to do well, but
And they've got great uniforms.
they do have great uniforms. I really like the Bills, and it's really starting to hit that point where I'm like, but good for them. They play the Redskins.
Yeah.
They play the Browns. They play the Dolphins. They play the Broncos. That's like, I can get them 4 wins right there.
Yeah.
Their
They
defense-
still end up more than 9-win team, I think, at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think so.
I think the Bills, their defense is so good that I think that Josh Allen is good enough that that defense can carry them up to the playoffs.
And
at
he
least.
hurdled a man.
He did.
Looking at the rest of their schedule, they should be probably like 10-6, maybe 11-5. Because it's not that hard of a schedule. Like Patriots, Ravens, and Cowboys are probably their hardest games. Like they got the Steelers. They can probably beat the Steelers. They can beat the Jets. They beat the Broncos, Browns, Dolphins, Reds. Yeah, it's like 11-5.
I didn't know this. Josh Allen butt fumbled.
What?
Yeah, he butt fumbled. If you watch the highlights on NFL.com at around 2 minutes and 11 seconds, he fucking butt fumbled on his offensive lineman.
Redemption.
I love it. That is exactly a butt fumble. It didn't look as embarrassing as Mark Sanchez's one because Mark Sanchez just like went face first,
Yeah.
asshole, and then fumbled. But Josh Allen like ran into his dude and on his elbow. He's got him as a second butt fumble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Thanks, Rob.
So yeah, that's that. Eagles.
I think the Bills are still good.
Yeah.
I think they're still good. But I think they'll make the playoffs. I hope they do. The Eagles now 4-4. The Eagles, I don't know what the Eagles are. They're like the new Titans. One week they look
AFC
shit.
teams, man.
Yeah, then they're good again. I don't know.
Yeah, but the maybe possibly influencing the Pick'ems a little bit. They've won 22 games straight when they score 25 or more points in a game. The
Interesting.
Eagles, that is. So if they go up against a defense that you think is potentially able to give up 25 or more points to the Eagles are going to win.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you wouldn't think that against the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Bills' defense was supposed to be pretty good, and they weren't today.
So then we had the Vikings beat the Redskins on Thursday night in a
Vikings, man. Pretty spooky this year.
here's the thing. I mean, they weren't really winning that well against the Redskins. It was at a point where the Redskins got a turnover, and if they had anybody that wasn't Dwayne Haskins at quarterback, they probably could have gotten a tying score.
Dwayne Haskins.
Because Keenum went down. He was 12 of 16, 130. He wasn't doing bad. Adrian Peterson, 76 yards. The Redskins' defense isn't even that bad. I think you mentioned it a few weeks ago, but their defense isn't bad.
It's good, yeah.
The problem is just they're out there all the time, and their offense just sucks ass because they have like 80-year-old Adrian Peterson and then a quarterback that's a backup.
Yeah. Haskins came in 3 for 5 and a pick. Yeah.
Yeah, like the defense got a turnover. I had it on the radio because I was just driving back from the gym, and it was just like, oh boy, here comes Haskins, and they're just like, all right, well they just got a turnover. The Vikings fumbled it, and it's picked off. It's like, all right. Well, so
I mean, look, I feel very prideful about my quarterback analyses, just in general.
Mhm.
And gotta say, feeling pretty validated about Haskins here.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
but
the thing is, it's a standard Vikings win. Dalvin Cook, 98 yards and a touchdown. Cousins threw for 285, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Stephon Diggs, 143 yards. The defense got a lot of sacks and the interception. So
yeah, good team win here.
yeah, it's a team win. Vikings, like they're gonna be a playoff team, but I don't know.
They're going to be a
far
first
they're
round
gonna
exit playoff team, so that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah. I'm really hoping we win the division so that they have to go on the road to San Francisco or some shit. So then we had the Seahawks beat the Falcons. Man, what a sad time in Atlanta. Matt Schaub, 460 yards and a touchdown and a pick. Dude, Matt Schaub.
Wow.
Yep.
What a game.
He's still in the league, everyone, in case you forgot.
Man, he's been playing for like 20 years.
I'm like 0 for 11 on these, but Matt Schaub is old as fuck, right? Yeah,
He's
he's 38. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
my
38.
God, he's ancient.
Yeah, he's Mafugal. Like that's some old shit right there.
When was his first year? It was 2004. I knew it. I remember because I played Madden 04, and I remember Matt Schaub being in it.
He played. I mean, he got the Texans through a lot.
Yeah, he had such a strange career because he was he kind of had like a little bit of a Kurt Warner thing going on for a little bit,
He did.
And but yeah,
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Jeff Garcia at this point.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison.
could see that.
He can go. He can temporarily change the face of a franchise for like a couple games.
Yeah,
And that's about it. That's all you're gonna get from him.
Yeah. He also, I mean, he's only played with Houston and Atlanta.
he's still got it. 460 yards, man. That's great for a backup.
Jeff Garcia is almost like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the past.
I was just going to say like that. I was going to say I would compare Schaub more likened to Fitzpatrick, except Schaub hasn't played for enough teams.
Yeah.
Like Garcia would just consistently do well on like just a different team every year. Like he went San Francisco for like 5 years, then Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia.
Yep.
So.
And he did okay in Tampa. He was, even though I didn't like him personally, he did do some pretty good stuff for Tampa.
He, like, looking at his stats, every year he would throw more touchdowns than interceptions. That's a feat in itself. So,
yeah, we don't know what that's like.
This is like I'm watching this. I'm watching the highlights here, and it's just like all outside running. Man, the Falcons, their linebacking core not great, huh?
I think their entire defense is just.
Yeah. I think the linebackers in particular are injured, but like I'm watching these highlights and it's like all outside runs. So it's like hey, can you guys run? No? Oh, okay. Well, we'll go over here and run away.
So here's a fun one for you. In one game, Matt Schaub has broken the franchise record for passing yards versus the Seahawks for Atlanta.
Wow.
After all the years that Matt Ryan has stayed in there, Schaub comes in one game and breaks the record.
This game actually looks closer than it was. It was 24-0 at halftime, Seahawks.
Yeah.
So a lot of garbage time stats and points for the Falcons. Wilson, pretty much they just played efficiently enough to be like, all right, we got the win. Let's leave. So that's that.
Today, at the time of this recording, also, Matt Bryant was released by the
I
Falcons.
saw that.
They signed Young Ho Shu.
Wait,
Wait,
really?
Didn't he used to be with the Chargers?
Yes, he did.
That's what I thought.
So they out with the old and in with the Young Ho.
I want that man to succeed so much.
He does seem like he just keeps trying. He's like keeps getting jobs. It's like he's got to
Yeah.
get it right.
I hope so. I want him. I would love to see that man succeed.
Oh my God, Rob, you were right about the OK Boomer thing. It's actually trending on Twitter right now.
Wait,
I kinda-
OK Boomer is trending on Twitter?
Oh yes. OK
That's-
Boomer
Oh,
signifies younger
because-
generation's attitude towards the status quo.
Okay, holy shit. All right, well, you guys want to talk about this for a second? Like, we don't have to talk about.
I mean, it's not really football. I just wanted to.
I mean, it is.
Bring
It's
that up.
about the NCAA. Like, just as a quick aside, I didn't know that this was going to trend, but I said this to these guys before we started.
All right, I
this.
give you 2 minutes. Stop
Yeah.
watch.
So, anyway, so Richard Burr is some senator from South Carolina, North Carolina, something like that, and he's suggesting that since the NCAA, since the players can now profit off of their likeness because that's such a horrible, crazy thing, that their scholarships should now be tradable, and that they should be like I mean. Like specifically, he says if college athletes are going to make money off their likenesses while in school, their scholarship should be treated like income. I'll be introducing legislation that subjects scholarships given to athletes who choose to, quote unquote, cash in to income taxes. It's the
And this man is
fucking-
a senator.
That's like the grossest perspective I have seen about the NCAA at this point.
Yeah, it's like the whole point is that the NCAA is just making money and not paying anybody that they're making money off of. 'Cause they're like, get an education, though. It's like, only like, like most of these people aren't even going to go on to play professionally, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same as saying that you're going to give an artist exposure because you're going to.
It really is.
Exactly.
You're gonna
That's
link
exactly
Twitter.
what it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, even if we're taking the scholarship angle, right? And we say that that's a reasonable take, which honestly it's obviously not. But say it is. How much is a scholarship for? 50 grand a year, maybe, right?
I
So
think
they-
it's more than that.
Well, sure, but let's fine. Ballpark it at 100 grand a year, say, which is really quite high for a college, right? And they stay in 1, 2, 3 years in college, 300 grand, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Do you know how much $300,000 is out of even $1 billion? Let's
It's
just
like
say
a Subway sandwich.
yeah, like
Yeah.
seriously, like it's a joke. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, that was perfect. 2 minutes.
yeah.
There you go.
That's the Rob segment of the week.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Chargers Bears. Speaking of Chargers, what a game, man. I sure.
16.
It's
I was quaking in my 15-1 boots for a little there.
the
I can't believe the Bears keep doing this.
missing field
Yeah.
goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. So the Bears, we're setting everything up, looking for a game-winning field goal. They're like, hey, we'll just kneel it, get a little left, and then, here you go, and then he missed it.
Whoops.
I believe it was 41 yards. So what we learned is the Bears actually can run the ball. David Montgomery, 135 yards and a touchdown. Trubisky can't really quarterback. You know who Trubisky's like reminding me of every week is Blake Bortles.
Sanchez.
Yep.
Oh yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
He's like a high draft pick. He's not that good, but they're like, he's got a good defense behind him, and they're just like, this guy, he's got to get it. He's gonna get
Yeah.
it soon, and then he's not gonna get it.
Taylor's oldest time. Yeah.
But hey,
not
Philip
looking great.
Rivers got his win, so he's
Mitchell
happy.
Trubisky. I'm sorry, I had to do it, dude. It fits so well in the song.
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky.
No, you did it wrong. All right, whatever.
But hey, Chargers got a win, so now they're 3-5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sure are.
So they're, I think, in like last or second to last, and the Bears are now in last place. So
The Chargers have had 7 one-possession games this season, tied for the most NFL in the NFL. This was the third Bears loss due to a missed game-winning field goal since the 2018 playoffs.
Yep.
Dude, the Chargers should have lost this game too, and that should have been another very close game this season that would have put them at 2-6. They're 3-5 now, which is still certainly not where they would have wanted to be at this point in the season, but they're bad.
Yeah,
They are
quite
bad.
Which is really surprising considering their record last year.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a lot better. And
they didn't really make that many moves either. They still maintained a lot of the players from last season.
Yeah, they've got the talent still. We keep talking about that every damn week. Like, they've got good players.
They just Charger it.
I'm not picking them to win.
Yeah, no.
And the Bears are a real bummer too this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, they really fell from grace there.
Yeah. They sure did. Last year was supposed to be like their fluke year, and then this year is supposed to be like when they got really good, and it's kind of just flip-flopped, and now it's... I think...
Well, they started the season pretty hot, but they've since cooled.
Yeah. So they're in last place because the Lions won. And they've moved into second or third at 3-3-1 instead of 3-4.
Yeah, they beat the Giants.
Stafford is very good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
342 yards, 3 TDs, and a pick.
Daniel Jones, 322 for 4 TDs and 0 picks.
Ooh. Yeah, Daniel Jones went off.
If it weren't for Matt Ryan, honestly...
Stafford.
No. If it weren't for Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford would be the most wasted quarterback in the NFL.
Yes. Okay.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that one.
Well, honestly, I'd put them both like right up at right next to each other, honestly, because Stafford's been great for years
since he was drafted.
Yeah, and it's a real bummer.
Yeah, but Stafford never went to the Super Bowl though.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, maybe Stafford is really the most wasted more than Matt Ryan.
I mean, he was on an 0-16 team, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make that argument more than you can for Matt Ryan if we're going by that.
Yeah, it might be true,
that rule.
Yeah.
Dude, Danny Jones in a loss, 322 yards. So he's a scammer. And also 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's a Dota joke from back in the day, by the way.
Man, I am
a niche audience.
Wow. So, sorry, I pulled up the Detroit Lions history. It's just a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
The last time they won a playoff game was 1991.
Oh my God.
That was with Barry, wasn't it?
I was 2 years old.
That was with Barry Sanders, yes.
Wait, what? In a playoff game in 91? Oh, okay, I was a couple of months old then.
I was 2 years old. That would be ever since then. They lost the wild card in 93, 94, 95. Lost the wild card in 97, 99, 2011, 2014, and 2016. So that's
they've never even done wild cards?
They just make it and lose.
Oh, that sucks even more.
They're like the Bengals.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I don't know. It would suck to make it to the Super Bowl and lose the way that the Falcons did. I mean, you have one legendarily immortal loss that's etched into the memory of every football fan versus a perennial one and done in the playoffs.
Dude, it's also versus 0-16 in the legacy. Would you rather have that staining you or that loss in the Super Bowl?
Listen, it's even though like, as somebody in the Aaron Rodgers era, we've only won one Super Bowl. It's actually very saddening.
Oh, man. Terrible.
We've had many bad playoff exits, but I will say, after the last 2 years of not making the playoffs, I was like, it's a lot more fun making the playoffs and watching those than not making the playoffs. So,
hey, but the Lions. We're talking about Matt Stafford being wasted and the sadness of the Lions.
Oh yeah,
in a win, and they are now technically they have a positive record. They're 3-3-1, so that's 3.5 wins. Well, actually, no, that technically still makes them even because they're 3-3-1, so it's 3.5 losses.
They're straight up at 500, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still 500 for the Lions. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs, but
Someone take Rob's bottle of He's been drinking too much of Coach's cough syrup.
I get high looking for that silver lining.
Too much Booger McFarland juice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Steelers beat the Dolphins 27-14.
And Thank God, because I was not ready to hear from Bear for the entire week.
Yeah.
This
Thank
would have
God for
been
that.
like this is the last chance I have given the Dolphins to prove that they are trying this year. They are not trying to win games.
Hey,
That
they
is
tried for a
so-
quarter.
I think you're right.
It's so clear at this point, man. Like
Yeah.
the decisions they make in these games sometimes. You even said it, didn't you, Krendor,
Yeah.
during the game last night? They made this mind-blowing decision on a 3rd and 20.
No, that was me. But yeah.
Oh, that was you. Okay, yeah. Rob said this.
Oh yeah,
in
the
chat.
blitz.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 20, they fucking blitzed 8 people.
Yeah.
Who does that? Ever?
I mean, I said it in the Discord too, but like I called it a Madden AI play and had to dial it back because even Madden AI isn't that stupid. Like that's how bad you don't.
He had.
If you
There
don't,
was a screenshot of that play. He had 3 people wide open from the moment he got the ball. It was insane.
Oh my God!
like
Speaking
it
of,
looks like clear tanking. Like
But-
no one makes that call. Like that's
But Rob,
just dumb.
Booger McFarland said that they're clearly not tanking.
That first quarter, man, that's what they've been doing. They make it look like they're competing, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, that's enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, they got like 5 draft picks in the first round or something. They're like,
Yeah.
they're ready to go.
They are 100% tanking at this point. Like, it's just
This is their
obvious.
off season right now.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the big show, April.
You know, honestly, like here's the thing. I don't know. There still hasn't been a confirmed we're tanking in the NFL. Like even in the Dolphins case here, it really fucking looks like it though. But it's really like tanking in the NBA is different from tanking in the NFL. There
Yeah.
are 52 dudes on these teams, and they're not, you know, like I know the NBA is a contact sport too, to a degree, and it's physical and they get injured and shit. But like
Mhm.
these guys are getting they're breaking their brains playing this game.
Yeah.
You can't tell them I'm tanking this year. Go fucking, get some CTE a little bit more,
Yeah.
Like that's fucked up. That's not, you can't do
I
that.
mean, there's
in
a
the
reason
NFL.
a lot of their big time talent is out the door because of that,
Right,
Like,
yeah.
They're really just hanging on to the folks that more or less don't have a choice, I guess. But
That's what I mean.
Mhm.
Like it look like at this point, if you're tanking in the NFL and you're doing it in the way that the Dolphins are, which is trade all of their best talent, it's like you've got 52 indentured servants that you're forcing into torture every Sunday. Like that's
Yeah.
basically like you're just saying, hey, go get the shit kicked out of you every Sunday, and we'll pay you
Yeah.
a couple $1 million. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But-
It's Miami
bad.
Dolphins. They're
Yeah.
and the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers are 3-4. They're somehow still competing for a playoff
the
spot.
Steelers wins, what have these come off of? They've been against the fucking Bengals, Dolphins, and where was the other one? The Chargers. Okay, so
Yeah.
there we go. I mean,
Chargers is the only
writing on the
team
walls
they
right
beat
there.
that has wins.
right. And the Chargers we just got done talking about, like,
Yeah.
are not the Chargers
Yeah.
anymore. So
It's
this
gonna
is
get
just-
a couple trickier because now they play the Colts, the Rams, even the Browns could beat the Steelers, and then they have Bengals, Browns, Cardinals, Bills, Jets, Ravens. So I could see the Steelers going like 8-8.
5 wins.
Honestly, I like Mason Rudolph a lot, and in a similar vein to what I was saying earlier, I like gloating about being right about quarterbacks because because years ago, in total fairness, I didn't stay up on this opinion, so like I lost faith, but years ago, like the year before Sam Darnold was drafted by us, the Jets subreddit was talking about like QBs we should be looking at. And I analyzed the QBs that would be going into the next year, and I was like, I'm not that hot on Sam Darnold, to be honest, as much as other people are. And the guy that I liked the most, funnily enough, was Mason Rudolph. So I don't know. I still have like deep from in my heart, I have strong feelings for Mason Rudolph, and I'm glad to see he's doing well. Honestly,
Rob
We
has
have such
strong
different
feelings.
fan experiences, man. Like you spend so much of this time analyzing the college prospects for the savior that may come out of the fold. just
Oh,
to
yeah.
bring you back from the bowels of hell. But
See, your season is
watching
the
that.
NFL season. My season is the off season. It's a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's Bill Belichick's just like, get this guy in the 3rd round. He'll like start for us.
Yeah.
He'll bring him in a dark room for 5 minutes and just look at him, and then he'll leave and he'll know what to do.
Get me the skinniest, smallest, most unnassuming white guy you can. I want to
Make
put him
sure
in the
he's
Hall
from
of Fame.
Rutgers.
Yep.
So where am I? Oh, here we are. Yeah, Steelers. We're done with that. Colts beat the Broncos in the horse battle.
Yeah.
Nay. That's what I said to this game.
Nice, fair. Nice.
Looks like it was a pretty boring game. Nothing substantially happened. The Colts just
I believe
kinda...
we call this a field goal fest, Coach.
Yeah, this does look like a field goal fest, and
The Broncos scored a touchdown.
they did. Like,
Yeah,
good
One
for them.
the Colts.
in fact.
Oh, wow. They both did it. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Ah,
They both
yep.
got a touchdown.
So that happened. Colts won. We knew that would probably occur, but it was closer than we thought. Rams beat the Bengals again.
Yeah.
Nothing surprising. What is surprising, the Bengals had running yards this game. If you remember last week, they had 0.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
And what a great week that was.
Rams 5-3. I think they kind of have righted the ship so far for the season. So
They beat the
They
Bengals.
beat the Bengals. Let's give
I
them a couple
mean-
weeks.
I'm not saying that they're like, Super Bowl bound or anything, but I'm just saying they're still 5-3.
They
I mean,
just beat the Bengals and the Falcons, Rob. The
I know.
Bengals and the Falcons.
Let's
I'm
call
just
them
saying.
3-3 still, and let's give them a shot.
Yeah. They're the Lions at this
They've
point.
got
Although,
they've got a really tough end of their schedule. They got Steelers, Bears, Ravens, Cardinals, Seahawks, Cowboys, 49ers, Cardinals.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
that should be a little more interesting.
funny fact, though, is that the Bengals did make headlines the day of the podcast recording by benching Andy Dalton
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the rookie. That's great.
That's
Sorry,
their
Andy.
response to the Dolphins tanking strategy. Oh, you guys think you're bad.
Who's gonna tank for Tua?
yeah.
What the
Wow.
shit? Hold on. What's happening with the Jets here? Jets Jamal Adams says he did
Oh, no.
not request a trade, and that GM Joe Douglas went behind my back and shot me around to teams even after I asked him to keep me here.
Oh, come on!
Oh man, you can always depend on the Jets for hilarity.
Dude, that's
Sell the fucking team. Just sell Johnson's, please. Please sell you'll get fucking billions, guys. Just go.
but they
fucking...
get hundreds of millions for doing nothing, Rob.
Oh God, just fire them all. Like fuck the. People were excited about Joe Douglas too. I don't give a shit. I don't care about any fucking person that the ownership hires. They have proven yet again, again and again, that they have no fucking idea how to judge who should be running the fucking team. So if you're a Jets fan at home and you have any faith thinking that, oh, well, Joe Douglas, he came from the Eagles, he might be good. No, he won't. He won't. You're a Jets fan. Stop thinking that at any point. Jesus Christ. I can't believe we're going to fuck up Jamal Adams. I'm so mad.
Well,
Thank you, Coach, for that tidbit.
no problem. Just wanted to bring that to attention. Then we have
Fun show.
I love being a sports fan. A lot of fun.
I mean,
Good
honestly, it's kind of like what the Bulls have in basketball. They just have really shitty management. They're kind of the same situation. People show up to the games, they make money, so they're like, as long as people keep coming. And I'm like, can we do something yet? But luckily, I have the Packers to be a good organization to help me out here.
I hate how down the middle of the show is with two people who don't ever have to worry about their teams versus two people who are in a constant state of I hate everything. I want the entire team to die.
I'm probably the most privileged sports fan in existence. I didn't start watching football until my first football memory is the moment Brady walked on the field to replace Bledsoe. And that sounds like comical, but that is when I began being interested in things. And I've just known nothing but success.
It's actually funny because
magical fun time for Bear and
my,
hell for anyone else.
My first moment
Yeah.
was the Packers beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl with Brett Favre beating Drew Bledsoe.
Wow, that is interesting, isn't it?
That is interesting.
Full circle to hosting a football podcast.
Yeah.
That's with the Bucs and a Bucs and a Jets fans. I almost said Jangles fans.
Bucks and a Jangles.
You know what? We
There
can
you
call
go.
it
That'll bring the fans back in.
We're
Dude.
the
Change your name to the Jangles.
I'm
Yeah,
down
mix
for
it up.
that.
Dude, the Christmas album writes itself.
Dude, it's not. It's not even just the Patriots, by the way. It's like anyone. If you're a fan of Boston sports for the past 20 years,
yeah.
you
Oh,
are
God,
spoiled
yeah.
as fucked.
Yeah.
Our trophy room is insane.
Yeah. If that ever comes crashing down, Boston fans are gonna burn their city to the ground. They have no idea what it means to lose.
We haven't gone like more than like a couple of
Generation.
years at a time without a championship between one of the
Can you
major
imagine-
four sports.
Can you imagine a Christmas album by the Jets, the Bengals?
Fuck yeah.
Jangle
the
bells,
Christmas
jangle
jangles.
bells.
Oh my
All
god.
I want for
great.
Christmas is a win.
And the quarterback. And a high draft pick.
And to sell the team.
Before I die of cancer. Oh my god.
Man, that'd be great. So,
Mhm.
the Saints beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That happened.
We're not at the power rankings yet. This is
No,
so
Saints beat the Card. We're getting there. Saints, Drew Brees came back, threw 3
Brees is
touchdowns.
back,
a pick.
yeah.
He's back. 3
yeah, a week
touchdowns, one
earlier
pick.
than,
Yeah,
than we
I
were
mean,
expecting.
he looked good. Saints look good. Honestly, I'm the most scared of them right now.
I swear to God, dude, the past 2 years, the Saints have been one of the best teams in football. And for the past 2 years, they have been fucked by the refs out of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Actually, no, one of them wasn't fucked by the refs, right? It was just a
And
miracle.
just think
that-
how criminally
Yeah.
underrated Drew Brees is, Rob.
I mean, I just really fucking hope that they make it to the playoffs this time and we get to finally see something.
Breeze
like
Brady
us.
Bowl.
I want that, honestly, because at this point, just fucking cancel the rest of the season. We know that Brady is going to be in the Super Bowl.
I
right?
want
Put
Rodgers
Breeze
Brady.
in there. I mean, no, I'd be happy with that too. But,
It was
Yeah.
that was such a total power move by Breeze. I mean, a week before the bye week, there's no reason for him to come back, especially to play against the Cardinals,
Yeah.
who they already were going to beat with Bridgewater.
yeah.
And he said,
Yeah.
"No, I'm playing this week." A week before the bye week. That is just such a power
Mhm.
move by Breeze.
That is.
And he made a statement: 373 yards.
Yeah,
and
he
3
was
touchdowns.
ready
Yep.
to play.
Yeah.
So
He's kind of okay as a quarterback.
it's kind of okay, yeah. And I think the final game was the Texans Raiders. Texans winning that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Raiders beat themselves in that game.
Dude,
That was their game to lose.
you know what's fucking hilarious? Remember last week I told we were talking about that awesome touchdown that Watson threw and got taken
Oh
away.
God,
by
yeah,
refs.
the one that he threw against the Raiders was legendary.
Well, yeah, he did. He had the same play in
Yeah,
this
it was
game,
the
except
exact
didn't
same
get
thing,
taken away.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he got great. It almost looks like that play is designed for Watson to shrug off
Yeah.
2 tacklers. And
He
he
got
did it
poked.
again.
Yeah, and he lost his left eye in the process of doing that, and still managed to get the ball thrown.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, it was just
It's gonna
another
be
it
a
was
hell of an
another
injury to
toe-tapper.
overcome.
Yeah, he finished. I mean, he finished the play, finished the game.
Yeah.
It's the worst part for Deshaun Watson is he has to play with one of the worst offensive lines. If he just had a decent offensive line, he'd be insane right now, even more insane.
Yeah.
But they
You
have
got
Tunsil.
a quick access reference to the best O lines in football right now. Is that something you could pull up on the Minority Report screens?
I believe so. I think I pulled it up last week, so I think I can get this offensive
Coach
line.
He
stats.
booped the correct tip flaps over there.
It is. Here we are. Offensive line updated for this week. We've got Pittsburgh as the best offensive line.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So Mason's enjoying some benefits.
Oh,
back
yeah.
Then
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got Raiders, Cowboys,
Wow.
Colts, Chiefs, 49ers, Rams, Saints, Patriots, Chargers, Vikings, Lions, Eagles, Ravens, Packers.
Hold the phone here for a second.
Yep.
The Raiders have the second best offensive
Yeah,
line.
that was a
Yes.
startling one.
According to the
that-
NFL.com offensive line
So-
statistics.
I'm gonna let this be known too. You know
Gotta
who's
be known.
coaching the O-line of the Raiders right now?
Who?
Who's that?
It's Tom fucking Cable. Tom
Who's that?
Cable. Tom Cable is like, for the past like I don't know, maybe 10 years, has gone from like team to team coaching O-line, and almost every team that he's been on, I've seen the fans be like, Tom Cable is the fucking worst. Why is he on? Why is he even coaching? How the hell does he have the second best O-line in the league?
How the hell do you know that? I'm amazed by that.
Well, I went and looked
it
at
was-
the
Yeah.
Raiders offensive line PFF rankings, and it's not like bad, but it's not like doesn't look like the best. But I guess they're just playing. I don't know. I don't know how they measure this.
Well,
Yeah,
that's certainly weird.
O-line is really hard to track.
They just
Yeah.
guessed. It doesn't even matter.
Who's gonna check him on it, right? Like, hold on.
Yeah, right.
Is it right?
Well, no one knows. How do you judge an O lineman? Like sometimes they let people
them sack
go
the
on
quarterback,
purpose.
I guess.
Yeah,
Well-
it's pancakes versus sacks versus like hurries and stuff, something like that.
Yeah,
No.
but that's what I mean. Like I mean more of like in a rhetorical sense. Like it's hard to make a good statistical grade for.
I think
yeah.
I think rushing protection also was factored somehow.
It looks like this is some other website, Football Outsiders. They do run blocking
they're
and
good.
pass protection. So they have for pass protection, Pittsburgh, Oakland, Rams, Chiefs, Saints, Cowboys, 49ers, Colts, Chargers, Lions, Patriots,
So it
Packers,
sounds about the
Jaguars.
same as the other one.
Yeah.
does.
Then the run blocking is Buffalo number 1. New
Oh.
Orleans is number 2. Dallas, Oakland, 49ers, Vikings, Broncos, Ravens, Rams, Packers, Houston, Cleveland, Giants.
So the Raiders are up there in both
Yeah.
metrics and on both sides. So apparently they're
Yeah.
doing pretty well in that
but
regard.
they're
Yeah.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
if we look
Well,
at the worst teams,
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Here we
Titans
go.
have the worst pass blocking, followed by the
Yeah.
Jets, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, the Broncos, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
In
And-
run
and-
blocking,
No,
Yes.
go ahead.
Bengals, Jets, Chiefs, Bears, Falcons, Chargers, Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how closely correlated those figures are with wins and losses. By
Oh,
the
yeah.
way,
Mm-hmm.
like having like people don't. I think a lot of casual football fans don't. They'll watch the draft and or they'll hear about the draft and be like, "Oh, we got O-line. Who cares?" It's like O-line is got to be one of, if not the most important indicators
Oh, yeah.
of team success.
It's the base of your foundation.
Yeah,
Like-
and similarly to like turnover differential, that's like almost like directly correlated to wins and losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like metrics like that, if you want to judge how a team is, like look at those numbers. I think.
Yeah. And that's all the games. So Sinvicta, can you take us to the NFL power rankings?
Here we go, Coach Krendor, the power rankings for week something of the something here on the NFL.com power rankings. Now, guys, I hate to do it to you, but I got to ask with the leadoff question as always. Name the top 5 of the NFL power rankings on NFL.com power rankings, starting with Rob for the round robin
Robin,
part of it.
Patriots.
Yep. Bear.
49ers.
Yep. Coach.
Packers.
Say it.
Yep.
That.
Robert.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Bullshit.
One strike, Bear.
Got to be the Saints.
Yeah. One more, Coach. Can you do it?
Freak out.
Is it?
He's gonna blow.
Oh, it's probably the Vikings again. They had them there last week.
That is correct. It is
There you
in
go.
order here. Patriots, Niners, Saints, Packers, and the Vikings.
That sounds
Now,
right.
now I gotta go to this one here because I know Rob's gonna love this one. Rob, true or false? The Dallas Cowboys are still in the top 10 despite having a bye week.
Yeah, it's the NFL, so that's a true.
It's absolutely correct, Rob. The Dallas Cowboys, the 4-3 Cowboys, have stayed in the top 10 at rank 7. 4-3.
It's just
Listing the rest of the top 10 here. Again, these are the teams that are ranked below the Cowboys. The Texans at 5-3, the Chiefs 5-3, and the 5-2 Ravens are still ranked below the 4-3 Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know that might sound
That
like,
sounds
oh,
crazy.
it can't get any crazier than that.
Pretty crazy, yeah.
But here we go, guys.
Okay.
The fattest, or is it the skinniest dink now? Or are we going the
Come
the
on
skinniest
now,
dink?
man.
The fattest doink is the big dropper. The skinniest dink
fattest
is the biggest rice.
doink.
There we go.
I wasn't sure
Amish.
after last week because it sounded like we were flip-flopping on that. All right, the fattest doink. Here we go. You get one chance, guys. They fell 5 spots. I believe they did the same thing last week as well, but we're just going to keep on going, starting with Robert. The fattest doink of the week. They dropped 5 spots, and as a very quick hint, they also had the fattest doink last week as well.
Oh, I don't remember. This is a memory game.
Yeah.
Giants?
Bear.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, I don't remember either. Was it the Bears?
Coach?
I think it was the Bears. I'm gonna go Bears.
It was indeed the Chicago Bears. They have now dropped 5 more spots down to rank 20. They were the 15th rank, so good job, Bears, on that one. And also hit this one here for the skinniest, thinnest, pencil-thin dink of the week here.
Yep.
Which team has risen the most in this week's power rankings on NFL.com power rankings? They've risen 3 spots like the golden boy that they are at quarterback, Robert.
The golden boy that they
The
are.
golden
The Rams.
boy. Bear
The Colts.
and Coach.
Man, I don't know.
They've gone from 20th to 17th.
I'm gonna go with
I'm
the.
probably wrong, then.
Yeah, I'm definitely wrong.
Jaguars.
It is indeed the Jaguars.
Look at them on fire
Thank
today.
you, the golden meme of all time.
Yeah, how do we not
Hell
think
yeah.
about Gardner Minshew? Of course.
Rising like Jesus himself to the 17th spot, sitting
I
at
thought he meant
4-4.
brisket.
Yeah.
That would have been a good guess, but no. All right, now we come to the more interesting ones. I'm going to go with Bear for this one
Mhm.
because Rob got kind of the easy one. Bear, true or false? This one's tough. True or false, the Falcons are now ranked below the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow. I mean, it's got to be true.
That is absolutely correct. The Falcons are now ranked one rank below the Buccaneers, who inexplicably went up this week, despite losing to the Tennessee Titans. Now the Bucs have they are now locked in at that 27th rank in the NFL Power Rankings, NFL.com Power Rankings. Now,
The expectations just keep dropping below them. It's not like they're rising above them or anything.
Yeah, it is indeed super, Bear. Now, Coach Krendor,
Yep.
out of the bottom 4 teams, can you name 2?
I sure can. The Jets and the Redskins.
That is correct. Now, as a follow-up question, true or false, the Jets are ranked below the Washington Redskins?
Uh-oh.
I'd say false on that one.
I'm gonna say false too.
I think it's true.
Might be true.
Well, it was only for Coach, but that is absolutely correct. The Jets are actually, Coach is right. The statement was false.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry to confuse you there. I needed to clarify that right away. The Jets are indeed ranked above the Redskins, but inexplicably, again, the Redskins are still trailing the 0-8 Bengals, which are sitting at rank 30, and then it goes Redskins, and then the lowly Miami Dolphins down there at the very bottom. And that is going to do it for the power rankings, or NFL.com power rankings. Good job, guys. And good job, Rob, because our team sucked.
Yep.
good job, Rob.
Good picks. I can't
Way
wait.
to go, Rob.
Top 6.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right.
Miami
welcome.
averaging 11 points a game. Just want to throw that out there.
That's bad. All right.
Yeah, in case you're not a football fan at home, that's not good.
It is not good. So
My quick fantasy note here: my team is still doing exactly what I said it was going to do, which is we lose the first 4 and then go undefeated the rest of the weeks. And I barely squeaked out this one, thanks to James Conner, who is now, I guess, gone for the season.
well, yep,
but
he is.
Oh,
I'm-
sorry.
I'm glad he got me my points
Yeah.
because I only won by 1.42.
Just wanted to say, there's a net point statistic on the NFL.com standings menu, and Jets are the second worst in net points with negative 107.
Nice.
Ah.
Just above Miami, right?
Yep, at negative 161.
161. Yeah, that's the
Wow.
number.
That's bad.
Where are the Bucs, Rob?
The Bucs. Let's see. You're at negative 16, actually. Reasonably, within range of closeness. The Redskins are at negative 96.
And
Here,
what
hey.
are the Patriots at?
Oh, come on, man.
189.
189.
That's a plus, by the way.
And-
not
and-
a- yeah.
And Rob, you know what would have made a difference in those 16 points?
What's that?
Not having 10 giveaways. in 2
Yeah,
games.
probably. Yeah.
2 games, Rob. 2 games.
You're right.
I've actually lost
Yeah.
3
Giveaways.
fantasy games in a row. It's very fun.
You're being humbled over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've hit the the Buffalo Bill stretch where you're just like, jeez.
And coach plays me this week.
Yep. So hopefully
You got to
I
change
can
your
win.
damn name from always plays top scorer. You did that one time.
Yeah.
No, I did that multiple times. I'm just
Go
on.
back
I'm
and
on
check
fire.
the books.
No, it can't. It doesn't work like that, Bear. I changed my team name once. That's when they go on the hot streak.
I'm really hoping Devontae Adams plays because it turns out when he doesn't play, I'm 0-3. So that'd be great.
My team actually is turning out to be the Christian McCaffreys as well. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're a clone of Carolina
And
Yeah.
Bear was on such a hot streak too this season.
until Christian McCaffrey had to go on a bye.
Yeah.
My
so-
team's starting to kind of come into its own a little bit, to be honest. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
that's
starting to
stuff.
look a little better.
I started off this year, I had the first overall pick, by the way, in our fantasy
You did.
Mhm.
game. And then my entire team got fucking injured in week 1.
Yeah.
But
This
now they're
is-
playing, so.
This week is going to be my revenge for having to pick immediately behind Krendor 2 years in a row. Get ready,
no,
coach,
no,
'cause
no.
I'm coming for you.
I'm gonna win
All
this
right.
one easy, dude.
Nope.
Easy.
My lock of the
Here
week
it
is for
comes.
my fantasy team.
All right. Well, pick 'em.
I think we let him do that. I think we should let him do it.
Pick 'em.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
not
mean-
going to do that because I have a 15-1 record to follow up with.
All right.
I'm not going to
All
bet
right.
that on fantasy.
So we open up with the amazing Thursday night barn burner 49ers Cardinals.
I will be blown away if the
Dinger.
Niners lose.
Yeah.
There's no way the Niners lose this one.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. I believe in Kyler Murray, but not that much right now. I think
Yeah.
the Niners think.
Gonna have to go with the Niners on that one,
Yep.
coach.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a Niners all the way. Then we've got the Texans Jaguars at London.
Give me the fucking Jags on this one. Why not? It's a
Yeah?
London game.
Yeah, it's a
You
London
got
game.
Gardner's starting to perform. He's going to
Oh,
find himself
yeah.
an entertained crowd out there in England.
And J.J. Watt out for the season.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
that's a
that,
bummer.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tore his
tore his
pectoral
bicep,
muscle.
or pectoral, yeah.
Yeah, it was his back.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
bummer.
But I still think the Texans are going to win because they have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans here too, but I don't know. London game?
Never know if these London
This is
games.
the time to pick a wild card, man.
Yeah.
Rob, don't listen to Bear. Whatever you do,
I
Oh,
do
no,
have the
Bears
worst
pick.
record.
as someone who listened to Bear one time, don't listen to Bear anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm still on the Texans right now.
Nope.
Although I could see this being good.
Honestly, I'm gonna go Jaguars. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right.
Then let's see. We got the Bears Eagles.
Eagles.
I mean, I feel like we
Yeah.
just got done watching this game, so I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm
Gotta
going
pick
Eagles.
Yeah, it's
Birds.
the Eagles were I thought they were worse last week, but they are kind of a flip-flop team too, and I think they're a little bit better.
I think the Bills are better than the Bears, and the Bills just lost handily to the Eagles.
Right.
So that's
yes, that's logical enough right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we have the Vikings Chiefs. That's a good game.
Good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I'm gonna go
Mahomes is
Chiefs.
still out.
I think the
he's
Chiefs
out.
are gonna win this. I legit think even if Mahomes is out, like they're still really good. I'm gonna go, and they're at home.
Yep, I'm going Chiefs.
They have lost 2 in a row, haven't they?
Yeah.
No, they lost 1 and then they won the week
yeah.
before that. So
Hold on, I need some stats here.
If it was
real
in
quick.
Minnesota, I'd probably go Vikings, but I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Hold on, defense.
How long is this show?
Hour and 39
Hour and a half.
minutes right now.
All right.
I'll go Chiefs. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Just for right now, knock me down as a Vikings.
What do you mean for right now?
Well, because I need to look at some stats, and you just ran the clock, Mister. You just
I
called the
wasn't-
clock, so I need
I
to
wasn't
look
running
at
the
stats.
clock. I was asking how long it's been because it feels like 2 hours.
It's
Take all the time you need. You can't just be like, oh well, for now. But I might change my answer come game time.
Yeah, the Chiefs give up a lot of rushing yards, so I think I'm going with the Vikings here.
all right.
Okay.
My strategy behind this is that the Chiefs will get ahead fast, so the Vikings can't run as much. They'll have to throw, and then it's a bad time for Kirk Cousins. So that's what I'm thinking. Colts Steelers.
Colts.
Colts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
that's
Colts.
Yep.
But I could. There's like a small part of me that sees the Steelers being able to win it.
But get to
But
the
I'm
game,
going
Coach.
Colts.
Get to the game. Get to the game.
The game of the week. Jets
The
Dolphins.
Woo! Humdinger. Get those humdingers ready. This is gonna be a wild one.
Yeah.
Set your alarms, boys and girls.
I mean, I could see the Dolphins actually winning, but I don't think they want to win, so I'm taking the Jets.
I hope
want
they
to
win.
win. They really do not want to win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm taking.
I really hope they win. Really do.
I think the Jets
Unironically,
have
this
to
is
win
the one of the hardest picks to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am taking the Miami Dolphins.
No, don't. I
Let's
promise
go.
you guys this is a mistake. I'm trying to help you.
I don't know. I almost took the Dolphins, but I'm going Jets.
I mean, I'll go Jets, but like, it's just, whatever.
That's the
I
spirit.
hope this is a loss. I not only do I hope this is a loss, I really, really hope that it is an embarrassing loss. Like, I hope that the Dolphins shit all over us.
Dude, Miami
Because-
is supposed to play well at home, but they're just not even a team this year. They're
I
a
just-
joke.
Yeah, they are.
I want you to go back to like week 1 before the season starts.
I
I'm just
can't
listening
wait.
to like,
The
guys,
Jets are
can't wait.
finally
This
gonna
is
get
gonna be.
the
I
Super
see like
Bowl.
9 wins, maybe like 8
Yeah.
or something, and so then skip
like,
up
I was
to
like,
here.
we're expecting playoffs, so I'm hoping for playoffs this year. It would be nice to see some improvement.
And
I
now you're like
really,
playoffs.
I want
realistically,
the worst loss imaginable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this.
I want
and
Sam
it's
Darnold's
amazing.
head to fall off.
in the like 10 years that I've been a Jets fan, this has to be the quickest heel turn I've ever seen. Like, it was just like everyone was so fucking pumped for this year, and then just like one game, and it's just like, wow, this is over. That's it. It's done.
probably exacerbated by the fact that we have a football podcast as well, and 3 guys.
Oh
to
yeah,
rip
no
on you.
doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
It doesn't help you.
I'm sticking with my guns, Coach. I'm sticking with the Dolphins.
All
I see
right.
them winning.
I feel it.
I hope the Dolphins stomp us so that Adam Gase gets fired as soon as the game's over. I just want that to happen so badly.
Bills,
So,
Redskins,
Bills.
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 Bill.
Yeah, I'll be going with the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Titans,
Nice.
Panthers.
Taking the tits.
Okay, that's
what?
one way to do it.
I don't know about that, man. Let's go with the Panthers, I think, on this one.
I'm gonna go. It's pretty much like a 50-50 game. I'm taking the Titans. Screw it.
Hell yeah, brother.
I am taking the Panthers because the Titans almost and should have lost to the Bucs.
Actually, you know
And
what? I think the Panthers pass rush is good. I'm going to go Panthers. I'm swapping it.
I believe that the Panthers are better than the Bucs. So
I think the Titans' offensive line's garbage. So any team that has any
we just
resemblance,
found that out definitively, yeah.
Yeah, any pass rush that's good, and I think the Panthers have that. So I'm gonna go Panthers.
But hey,
now.
at least Rob's going for the tits.
Yeah,
He's taking the tits.
he's taking the
I'm
tip.
taking them.
God,
Tits are mine now, boys.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Lions Raiders.
I'm going to take the Raiders in this one, actually, because
Yep.
they just are winning games somehow, apparently, behind
I'm
that
gonna take the
really good
Raiders, too,
offensive
yeah.
line.
I'm
I
with
agree.
you. I'm taking the Raiders too, actually.
Yep, the Raiders barely lost to a superior Texans team. But
Wow.
Mm.
I am surprised that we're actually all on Raiders right now because I actually think this game is very toss-up.
It is.
Like because both of those teams feel very similar right now, which is just
Yeah.
like they look better than their record and they have talent
Well-
and they both are coming off a loss that they want to, turn around that was close.
Lions just won.
Oh yeah, the Lions won. Never mind.
yeah,
Whatever, I'm still taking
they
it.
almost, they almost lost to the
That's-
Giants.
yeah.
The Giants are-
Right, yeah.
I just
but,
think
you know.
the Raiders line is really good. The Raiders, honestly, like they're a good team. I just think
both of these teams are playing good teams and have been playing good teams all year as
Yeah.
well. So they're
Yeah.
they're conditioned to go to town here.
yeah, it could go either way. I think the Lions' running game's gonna hurt them not having one, so I'm just taking
Yeah.
the Raiders because of that.
yeah, you usually want to have a running game to have a running game.
Yeah, it helps a little bit.
It's pretty helpful. Yeah.
Buccaneers, Seahawks.
Lock it in the Seahawks, boys.
Yeah, yeah,
Locking them right in.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the Seahawks win.
yeah. It's the Seahawks.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's been fun. Enjoy your quarterback. I will not be rooting for you for the rest of the year.
All right. Packers, Chargers.
Packers.
I'm going Packers.
Yeah, give me the pack.
All right.
It's the Packers, obviously.
Browns, Broncos.
Go Browns!
I don't even want to say it anymore. I don't even feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't
it's
feel good
tainted.
anymore.
Yeah, it's been toxified. I'm gonna say Broncos.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think Joe Flacco's hurt though, so I guess I'll take the Browns.
I do actually think they'll win this game, but I don't have the spirit
Yeah.
for it anymore. Man.
Yeah, it's just I'm taking the
I
Browns.
still have the spirit because
glad.
I believe in the Space Browns, and they are here to stay, and they're going to beat these horses from outer space, and it's going to be great.
I think you're high.
I also think the Broncos are bad. So, I mean,
They are
like,
bad.
Yeah.
They're not the Browns bad.
Yeah, they're
I
not,
think
like,
the Browns
worse.
are still better than their record, even though I
Yeah.
don't think they're playing better than their record. Like on paper, they are, and I don't think the Broncos are very good. So I'm taking the Browns here. I think
One of
it's
those
the win.
teams is still going to have 2 wins after that week, and that's going to be that's
Yeah.
going to be a bad look for either of those offices.
Hmm. Man. Well, I think the Broncos. I think have given up on the season, but they're still like competing. So
They're still good enough to win.
yeah, they're still good enough to win. But
It would have been an easier pick if they had kept on Sanders, but I
Yeah.
still think they're going to beat the Browns because the Browns are terrible.
It's also in Mile High, so that's probably going to be
Yeah,
a pretty
I
big
don't
game.
know. I
That
think
is
Nick
Browns
Chubb
are
can
coming
have a
Off
good
of
game.
another road win or another road
Yeah.
game.
I think the Browns are going to take it though. So I'm going to take Browns.
I'm actually gonna swap to Broncos.
Yeah, there you
no.
go, Bear.
Oh,
yeah. As the person with the 15-5 Pick'ems record,
Oh, you're
last
still
week,
below
let me
me
tell
in the
you,
win percentage stat column.
by one game, by one time.
Guess what?
game.
When the playoffs come, doesn't matter. I'd get the edge.
Yeah, who are you, Rob? Defending Kirk Cousins now?
Then we have the Ravens Patriots. That's a good game.
Gonna
That
go with
is-
the Patriots. I will be taking the Patriots.
This could be a trap game,
It's not.
but no, yeah, I don't think it is because here's the thing: the Patriots defense is like historically good this year,
Yep.
and as much as I've been slobbing on Lamar Jackson's knob.
He's still a new quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And he's gonna Belichick's gonna know how to beat him.
Nom 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 nom.
Now
Yeah, he's gonna
get
tear him
this.
apart.
I'm gonna go Ravens, but not because of their offense, because of their defense.
Oh,
I think
really?
they can
Interesting.
stop the Patriots enough to the point where they can get enough points to barely win. I think it's gonna be like a 13-10 type of game.
Dude, even if it's a defensive battle, the Patriots just won that in the Super Bowl last year. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
but
13-3 in favor of the Pats.
Did you watch them against the Bills?
Yeah, I sure did.
They were bad.
I know the offense is bad, but I'm telling you, we won that game already. That was the
But
Bills
if the
game.
Bills would have had the Ravens offense, they would have won that game.
Coach
Yeah,
also picked
maybe.
Coach also picked the Dolphins, Bengals, and Browns. all
Okay,
win.
I've also got the number one record in the Pick'ems
by one game.
I'll
It
let
doesn't
you go ahead and
matter.
take another L on this
You're
if
losing
you want
that
to.
this one. You
It's
are
like
taking
being
an
like,
L.
oh, I'm winning
Yeah.
the division by one game. Yeah, I'm winning it.
Take the pick. All right, it's on you, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then to cap it off, we got Cowboys at Giants.
This is literally a coin flip. I have no
Yeah.
idea at all who is going to win this game.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the
I'm-
Giants, I think.
I'm going G-Men too. I
I'm
believe in
actually
DJ.
going to literally flip a coin. Hang on.
It's not a bad choice. Here, I got a coin,
Honestly,
too.
very reasonable.
Heads
It
Giants.
is going to be the
I got it.
Cowboys.
Well, I just flipped my coin and got Giants.
Well, you got the wrong coin, man. I don't know what to
Damn.
tell you.
That's unfortunate.
This is a game the Cowboys have to win. I'm taking the Cowboys.
All right.
Go boys, I guess. You know what? Actually, fuck fate. I'm going to go with the Giants as well, just to hopefully bring the boys down a peg in the NFL Bible
Oh,
power
man.
rankings. Because I would really
I would like
to
that.
happen.
Excuse me. That is impossible, Bear. I must let you know right now you're being blasphemous. No one wants a blasphemous bear.
Well. Oh, yeah, I got to make a lock now.
Oh,
I'll
yeah, we
lock
have-
the Niners. Give me the Niners locked in against the Cardinals today.
All right.
Yeah, reasonable.
I'm going to lock in the Buffalo Bills,
Oh.
which I'm still kind of scared about, but it's I'm like, I think they can do it, right?
I think they got that.
I think they got it.
You guys took all my locks.
You got it. Dude,
I mean,
lock
the
in
Patriots are
Jets.
still sitting there. You could lock the Jets, dude.
Oh, but
Oh,
no,
no.
that's
No,
we still
pick the
can't lock
Dolphins.
against the Dolphins, though.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I also picked the Dolphins to win, Rob.
Yeah. I mean,
I
at
will
this
be-
point, can we still have? I mean, maybe we should still have that rule. Never
Yes,
mind.
we still have the
absolutely
rule.
should.
We're not going to
The-
break
the
the rules.
Yeah.
I will be locking the Green Bay Packers.
That's not
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
Although the
Reasonable.
Chargers game almost feels like a little bit of a trap game, but I've
It
said
was-
that the last couple of weeks and we still win.
I was
So I'm
either
like,
gonna
yeah.
pick them or I was either gonna pick them or the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one too.
The
Lock 'em.
Buccaneers are known for disappointing me and doing the exact opposite
Yeah.
of what they should be doing.
That's true.
So I'm just gonna go with the Packers.
All right.
Okay.
Well, there it is. The locks of the week, and that's our week for this week. Duh.
There it is.
Thanks
The
for-
week is now over.
Week is over. A fun stat as we go into the ending. Baker Mayfield is now tied with Jameis Winston with 12 interceptions on the year for most interceptions. Very fun.
Stop! They're already dead.
And that'll do it. So thanks for watching, listening, follow us on all this stuff. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're getting so many YouTube subscribers. Watch our ads,
So
please.
famous.
Please watch our ads and click the like button and the bell to be notified, all that good stuff. And that's all we got. See ya.
Bye.
Follow us on Twitter too. It's on the screen.
Oh yeah, Twitter and all those.
Wait, we have a Twitter?
Yeah, it's on the
I don't
screen. No, like each of us have
us
Twitters.
individually.
Yeah.
we all got Twitters.
All
Don't
right,
follow
that's
these
it.
guys. Follow my Twitter.
No,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
well,
that's fair.
I
That's
mean-
reasonable.
okay. Now, all right. Now we're done.
Rated.
It's broken. It's looping over and over. All right, I'm stopping it.